Hello traders, welcome to a new video on support and resistance on altcoins. So we're going to focus on support becoming resistance and resistance becoming support during a trend. Now I've covered this topic before, but I wanted to cover it again because I found that the strategy has been working better and better the more volume that these Binance pairs have had. Basically, the more traders that are in this market, I found that this strategy has been better and better throughout the days. Now, here's an example of exactly what we're talking about here. We see active resistance at around 10.3. That resistance was broken here. And we get price to go up, and then price pulls back right to around that 10.2 to 10.3 level, and then goes higher. Now you may wonder, why does previous resistance become active support? Well, the reason that does occur is because any previous longs who had bought anywhere around here or here, when price goes up, they are in profit. But when price goes below the price that they had bought, they're obviously in a loss. Now, one thing to know about retail trader psychology is that whenever a lot of traders go into a losing position, they might not want to sell. They might want to just wait for a slight profit. So what that means is that if a lot of longs had bought these market tops here, then what's going to end up happening is any price just below is not going to have much selling. Why? Well, that would mean if we see a good amount of volume here and here, right? And here as well. If price goes anywhere below that, we don't see many interested sellers because not many longs want to sell at a loss. And if not many longs want to sell at a loss, then price can't really go lower. I mean, unless the shorts get really, really strong. Now let's take a reverse, guys. I just talked to you guys about what the longs do. Let's talk about the shorts. You know, anyone who had shorted here, anyone who had shorted around here, is not in profit here. If they hadn't taken profit here, they're holding a losing position. Now what that means is that they're holding a losing position, and then suddenly they get into profit. Now think about from your perspective, when you're holding a very, very badly losing position that suddenly goes into profit, you're like down like minus 20%, and then you're suddenly in profit. What's your mind going to flash to? Well, a lot of these guys are going to want to take profit. You know, that 1% profit, even though they were in 20% drawdown, they may be very inclined to take profit. So what ends up happening is we see an increase in interested buyers once price goes just below this previous resistance. So just to recap of what's going on, we get less interested sellers because longs are getting in, our price is going to a certain price where longs are getting unprofitable positions. Shorts are getting more interested to exit their positions because they're getting profitable, and they want to exit a profit and avoid the pain of going back into drawdown. Now this happens, as you can see here as well, really all over the place. You can see we had this resistance, right, which became support and price went higher. And now what we see here is this was previous resistance, right, and price is right here. And I wouldn't be shocked to see either short-term price move up or just at least a medium-term price move up. Now let's go in some smaller time frames. Let's look at that 5-minute to see just some other things happening. And I see something here. Perfect. I see previous support, which is around here. It's not beautiful, but it is support. That does become resistance. This is not a great example, but we can still look into this and see how we could make money on this. Well, what's going on here is that any longs who had bought here out of profit, they suddenly get into profit here. Many of them might be interested in selling, which will propel the price lower. Any shorts who had shorted anywhere around here, around previous support, they're in profit. Suddenly, when price goes above their price of shorting, they are not in profit and they might not be interested in buying. Lack of interested buyers here, influx of interested sellers, and price goes lower. So that's what can happen with previous support becoming active resistance, okay? And we can also see that here as well. This was a previous support level, and it became a very short-term resistance. Now, you may wonder, okay, so how do I actually make money on this? Well, this is where you may want to use, this is not financial advice, of course, but it can be helpful to use multiple limit orders for this type of strategy. So the way that you can do this is you can identify a previous resistance or a previous support, depending on if you have the ability to short or to go long. So let's say that you see, I know guys, we can see what happens here, but let's just say we don't know. So we see active resistance that had occurred around these price levels here. You may say, well, how can I use limit orders to take advantage of this previous resistance? Well, what I like to do is place my first limit order around the top of previous resistance. Again, limit buy order because this is after price goes up, of course. I might be interested in buying here. Now, my second one might go a little bit lower. My third one might go a little bit lower there. The reason I do that, and my stop loss might be, like right there. So the reason I do this is if I only get filled once, I'm in profit. If I get filled twice, I'm in profit. If I get filled all 3 times, hopefully price doesn't go down to here, but then I get my full position and we are in. So if we look at what would have happened here, I know, 2020 hindsight and yada, yada, but let's see how many of our limit orders would have filled by using this level. So it looks like here all 3 would have filled and we would be in profit. As you can see, price does, oh, hello price. So price goes higher here, a good amount, and you could take profit up there. Now again, why does this work? Let's talk about psychology. Well, why this works is any previous longs who had bought here are going to probably be less interested in selling at these prices. They might be more inclined to sell into profit and then not be interested in selling once they're not in profit. They might want to sell when price goes back above break even. Any shorts who had shorted here are probably not going to be interested in exiting their positions at a loss. They may want to wait until they go into profit. They go into profit here. They're interested in buying and price goes up. So that's what we're taking advantage of with these limit orders, and we would have made potentially about a 2%. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. Now what we're going to do is something that I always love to do. We are going to go back in time. Let's go 88 USDT, and I am not going to look at what happened. I'm not looking. Okay, random point in time. Okay, random point in time. Let's go. Okay. All right, let's identify previous resistance and previous support. Let's find some trading strategies. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we could potentially profit off of this. So the first thing that I want to note is I actually am not interested in placing any limit orders here, but I'm going to show you guys what we're doing. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so if price goes above here or below here, then we're probably going to do this. So let's say price goes below here, then I might want to set limit sells here so that we can take advantage of a retest, right? Something like that would be a beauty. So let's see, does price break this level or this level? I'm not buying or selling yet. I'm not putting any limit orders, but let's see if price breaks either, and then we're going to look for potential strategies for getting in on the retest, aka previous resistance becoming support or previous support becoming resistance. Loving this natural lighting. Okay, but what I love more is when resistance gets broken because it's taking forever. Come on, something happens. We can actually set some limit orders, please. Nothing's really happened. No, absolutely nothing's happened yet. I'm not interested in doing anything here. I mean, it looks like we have bullish pressure, clearly, but is it going to explode? The upside, because I feel like we're putting a lot of pressure on those higher levels. We're going to get that bullish. Well, still nothing happening. Interesting, we could do even short-term trading here using this previous support and maybe sell here. I don't know, though. Yeah, actually that would have worked. So if we had sold here, if we had sold right there, then, we're in like 0.7% profit. Oh, we take profit, maybe for like a little short-term scalp using previous support as resistance or previous resistance as support. All right, come on, price. Do something interesting. Break one of these levels. Don't make me just stare at a computer monitor for the next 43 seconds. Oddly specific, I know. Okay, so we have another touch of resistance. We are having so many touches of resistance. All right, so what is happening here? Ooh, we got a short-term retest here. See that, guys? Look at that beauty. So we got a short-term retest where price went down to here and then price went a bit higher. But I still want to see price go higher than this before I start doing a retest, Okay, well, actually, what am I even talking about? That was another perfect bounce. Look at that. Just another perfect bounce of previous resistance becoming active support. And there, hello to 2.2% profit. I mean, come on, price. Go a little bit higher, please. Okay, now another touch of that support. That was just a beauty of resistance turn support that I didn't even expect to be that good. Okay, I definitely did bar replay on the correct price. Okay, now we're really well beyond. So yeah, I think I kind of maybe fudged this one up a bit. Fudged, I didn't say the other one. So don't demonetize me, YouTube, please. Okay, the algorithm has already demonetized me. So time to, no, that was a joke. They have not demonetized me. No, I have child-friendly content. Very, very Child friendly. But what also is child friendly is these multiple touches that could have gotten us to a great long position where we'd be happily in profit. But let's look at other, we can clearly see an uptrend here. Let's go identify other levels of previous resistance that we could put our limit buy orders at to act as support. This is interesting, guys. This is the second touch of this support level here, but maybe I would actually do this. This is a little bit aggressive, but I'm going to put an imaginary 0.4340 bid. I don't feel great about this, but let's see. I just don't feel great about this, though. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it worked again. This looks pretty good. Yeah, we go into drawdown of like, what, 0.5%, but then we're up here, profit 1.45, and then 0.6% profit here. And then you could take profit here if you want to be conservative. If you'd slid in a bid here, that seems fine. Or, oh, hello, to more profit. If you hadn't taken profit there, that's pretty nice too. So yeah, that's one for one. We are successful. Good. How else can we play this? Well, if price goes above this level, we could use that as a retest, using that resistance as active support. Also, if price goes below here, I'm going to use that as active resistance from a previous support level. So I'm really going to label these two levels, and I want to see price break one of them with some strength, not just stop loss hunts, please. Okay, that's strength. So yeah, if I was to put 3 limit orders here for my good old ADA USDT, I would do this. This looks perfectly fine. Hopefully price doesn't just like go way lower. Okay, so 2 out of our limit orders filled. Okay, now every single limit order filled. And I think that, okay, let me just get rid of these. So imagine we had bought at a middle price around 44.78. Price is at 44.80, so we're basically at break even at this point because we bought at 44.78. Now, we get previous resistance here. Awesome. We had also previous resistance here. Awesome. And, we're in a position here. I would probably actually put my stop loss around here. This is a little bit aggressive, though. Buying 44.78 and stop loss 44.15. Okay, maybe I get stopped out, or we'll see. Because we're kind of stalling at this support level. I don't love this stalling, but I wouldn't mind a price jump up. All right, so we would have been stopped out here. So what's going on here? Because this is really interesting because, of course, anyone who tells you a strategy that works 100% of the time is lying to you. No strategy works 100% of the time. But that's not the end of the story. What we have here, and what I was so hesitant about when I was talking about this example with you guys, is look just how much pressure is being put on this support. So much pressure. This would be a point in time where we should have even just taken profit at break even, because we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches of support here. That's not good. I mean, if you look at other examples of previous resistance and previous support working quite well, guys, it's going to be like 1 or 2. I mean, like, look at this. Previous support here, 1 touch, we're done. Previous support here that became resistance, 1 touch, and then we go, way down. But that, quick succession of just many hits on the lows, that's not a good sign. That's just quite bearish. And price keeps going lower, as we would expect after we clear this support level. Yeah, so success and failure of this, I would say you just have to look at how many touches are occurring. If we go way back in time here, is this guy good? No, they don't even. Oh, they do touch. That's a perfect touch, actually. So yeah, this is a perfect example where we get 1 touch, 2 touch, done. I'm not seeing a 3rd or 4th touch because if I got price to keep hitting against this wall, I'm expecting price to go up, right? So when using support resistance strategy on altcoins, be very, very attentive to how many touches of that previous resistance or previous support is occurring. Because multiple touches means weakness at that level, meaning price will likely go beyond. Now, is there anything we'd want to do here? Actually, I don't think it's a terrible idea to put limit sells here. Limit sells around there would be nice. Any place where we want to play limit buys? No, probably not. Now, I would probably actually not want to keep my limit sells here. That's a little high up. I would even do that. I'd be comfortable doing that and just shorting if price goes above that high. Okay, so we would have shorted here. Let's see if that would have been a perfect short. Yeah, that would have been good. So we could have taken profit there. Yeah, that would have been a good short. For a short-term short, like a very not long short. Yeah, and I mean, like, you could have taken profit here, or if you had held this short through all this pain, you know, you're in not a terrible profit here of like 1.2%. Oh my God, so this would have been a great short actually. If we had shorted here on margin on Binance, and then price goes down, this looks great. Cool. So yeah, so that would have worked out well. That would have worked out pretty well as well. All that I was doing before we learned what actually had happened is identified previous support here, previous support here. I slotted in a limit sell order here, and we get a nice little fill on the retest. Now, what do we see? Whoa, hello to another previous support that could become our resistance. Let's imagine we place two limit sells, one there, one there. Boom. Or actually, no. Let me take that back. One here, one here. That's better looking. Okay, one fills, two fills. Let's see if price goes back. Okay, so now we're in profit. That doesn't mean we want to take profit right away, but we are in a nice profit here. Good. Was it a perfect short? By no means was this a perfect short in any way. But we could potentially take break-even profit here if we really wanted to. Or if we had held, maybe this gets okay, but this may have ended in loss. Oh, actually, I don't know. Putting a lot of pressure on the lows now. Where are you going to go? You going to up or down, dude? That's what I ask Bitcoin every day, and it does not answer me. It speaks in puddles. Puddles? No. Puzzles. I'm speaking in puddles right now. Okay, but what's not speaking in puddles? I feel like I make that joke all the time. Not the puddles, but the what's not speaking in. So we could have taken potential profit, when price goes down here, but that would have been a very small profit. Really, what I'm trying to show you guys is you can see when this works and when this doesn't work just by looking at ADA USDT on the 5-minute. What's going on here is multiple touches of a certain level. Typically, we go beyond that level, right? But if you get just one touch of a support or resistance that becomes, like something like this, previous support here, one touch and we're down, that's a lot more bearish. Or, even like this. This is very short term, but look at this. Previous resistance here, right, guys? And price goes down to here, establishes that as support, and then price goes up. So this is going to do it for this video. For some key takeaways, one, you have to know why this pattern occurs. Why does support become resistance, and why does resistance become support on altcoins and on other assets as well? Two, you have to know really where to place your limit sells and limit buys when you use this strategy. Three, probably the most importantly is three, you have to look at how many touches a level is getting, because the more touches that a support or resistance has, the weaker it gets, and the more likely that price is to move beyond that level. Okay? And then four is just use other factors of confluence such as order depth, correlation to Bitcoin, and market buys, market sells. You can get correlation to Bitcoin from just so many sites, or even on TradingView. You can get market depth from vcdepth.io, and you can get market buy, market sell data for any coin from Cryptometer. So those are the sources if you are interested in getting that info. And also, you can do practice just like me, where like what I'm doing is I'm identifying previous resistance, previous support, putting horizontal lines to imagine where I would have put my limit buy or limit sell, and then we're seeing how those scenarios would have worked out. For example, if price goes lower here, if price went lower, I would have probably put in a limit sell here, because that could be a previous support that could become potential resistance, but price just did a stop loss hunt instead of a strong downtrend. Or if price goes above here, I would put my limit buy here, get that retest, and then price would probably go higher. You could either take a short-term profit or a more medium-term profit, depending on your risk-reward, distance to stop loss. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully, you guys learned some stuff about how altcoin support resistance dynamics work. And if you want to learn any more, you can check out my price action and volume guide, which I'm going to link in the description below. Bye-bye. See you guys next time. Happy trading.